All right, hey, welcome back. So we are still graphing a quadratic by factoring. There's just a little more information I want to pass on to you. All right, so we're just going to look at another example of graphing. We're just going to look at one. So if we had to graph y equals x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay, so we know the steps for this. First, I'm going to set it equal to 0. So I'm just going to have 0 equals x squared plus 6x plus 8. Ooh, it's ugly. Okay, then factor. Okay, so 0 equals, we want factors of 8 that add up to 6. So we've got x plus 2 times x plus 4. Set each of those equal to 0. Hopefully you see that x is negative 2 or x is negative 4. Okay, now the key that's different. So today we talked in class about how these were the zeros. And I mentioned in every single class that the lowest point or the highest point is the vertex. So we're going to do something special to find the vertex. Okay, so find vertex. I think I'm going to put it up here. I know on your notes you'll probably keep working down, but I'm going to put it up here too. Find the vertex. So 1, add the zeros. 2, divide by 2. Okay, so we're going to take those 2 zeros that we had right there, and we're going to go negative 2 plus negative 4 over 2. It's like an average, the average of those. So that's negative 6 over 2, which is negative 3. Okay, so what you need to understand is that's the x coordinate of the vertex. Okay, so we know that x is negative 3 of the vertex. We want to find out what the y is. So we're going to take that value, that negative 3, and we're going to put it back into this equation. Okay, so we're going to plug that back in and figure out what y is. So we've got negative 3 squared plus 6 times negative 3 plus 8. Okay, this is just like if you're making your table, we just have one extra value. Okay, so we're just finding that y value. So when we plug that into our table, we would get negative 1. Oops. Okay, so we've really got 3 points. So if you think about our table with those 3 points that we have, we've got x, y. So we've got 2 x's, negative 2 and 0, negative 4 and 0. Remember, those were from right here. Okay, and then we've got this other point, negative 3, negative 1. Okay, that gives us an idea of what this graph is doing. X, Y. So here's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got 2 points, negative 2, negative 4. Oops, undo. That's not negative 2. Negative 2, -4. We know in between we're at -1. That really is kind of enough for us to say, hey, I know that this graph is going to be, oh, undo, sorry. I know this graph is going to be U-shaped going through those 2 points. This is the minimum, and that's what it's going to look like. Okay, so that's with all of those steps. Remember your option, make that table, but by finding the vertex, you eliminate needing to make the whole table. Okay, so I'm going to just give you one to think about and look at on your own, and then really that's all I'm going to ask you to do. So, y equals x squared minus 12x plus 35. So things that I'm going to want to see when you graph this, okay? You don't even have to graph at all, but I want you to calculate the zeros. I want you to calculate the vertex and make your little table with those 3 values, a table of 3 values, okay? So just like I did on the previous slide, that's what I want you to do here, okay, just for that problem. All right, have a super weekend, and we will see you on Monday.